It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wednesday. It's 9:07 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. Welcome to The Experience. We're live on Spreaker and here on the Wrestling Soup Discord. Also on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Justin, are we live on your YouTube channel?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. But I do have an announcement to make a little bit later in the podcast, though, about that. So,
nice segue. We did talk about that earlier, but I'll let you get to that. But
you know already.
Oh, I know, but hey, I want the people to know. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to The Experience. I am Drew. You already know me. With me, as always, is
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
All right. How was your day, sir?
That was good, man. You stopped by at the shop a little bit earlier. We were chatting up for a little bit, and after you left, I had a lot of good customers, a lot of good sales that came in today. So, can't complain. It was a pretty good day. Came on, watched Dynamite, which I thought was a fairly entertaining show from start to finish. So, yeah, man, in a very good mood.
Saw that. Unfortunately, I had Sling for a little bit, got rid of it just to kind of save a little money. And like I mentioned to Justin, I do have a little app thingy on my Fire Stick in the living room where I could have watched it, but I forgot. But anyways, yeah, I mean, from what I heard, it sounded like it was a pretty decent show, pretty entertaining show.
Yeah, some news coming out of the show. That I don't know. Do you want to get into the major news that's looming right now? Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go for
it. So I guess it was like the third match of the night or fourth match of the night, wherever it was, but it was Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix for the International Championship. And believe it or not, Rey Fenix is your new International Champion. But that's not the major. That's not the major news of concern. The major news of concern is that apparently Rey Fenix did a sit down pile driver, kind of like Rikishi. Remember, like the Rikishi driver from back in the day. And apparently Mox's head went straight into the canvas. And kind of like the Owen Hart situation with Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you kind of remember that. I don't think it was that bad as far as like Austin broke his neck. But Jon Moxley may have suffered a concussion.
Oy.
It's still ongoing right now. This is still a fresh story. As soon as it happened, I was like, because basically Rey Fenix went for the pinfall after he did it, because he did it twice. The same movie did it twice.
Jesus Christ.
And the first time he went for the pinfall and Mox didn't get his shoulder up, referee said, he got his shoulder up because Mox was supposed to win this match. Obviously, Rey Fenix wasn't supposed to win this match, and so they, I guess they said it was a botched spot, but it was botched because Mox couldn't get his fucking arm up. But that's number one. Number two, another sit-down pile driver, and Rey Fenix is your new international champion. So after the match, this is coming from PW Insider. It's showing that PW Insider reports that Jon Moxley was checked out by doctors for a long time before staying up and walking out. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Mox left under his own power through the crowd. People said Renee and the doctor didn't look thrilled. Of course, Renee, obviously Jon Moxley's wife, and you kind of know that you already know how she feels about his wrestling style, and just how she feels about all that. If you pay attention to like her podcast and interviews, things of that nature. Next, there was a photo that was sent from WrestleVote showing, and I'll put this in the chat. I mean, it's a serious situation, but just the photo itself is not including Moxley, but it's showing Renee Claudio Castagnoli Wheeler Yuta and Tony Khan outside of John Moxley's trailer, and just the way it looks like, I'll put the photo in the chat in a second, but it looks like they're trying to score a Coke deal. That's what it looks like. But obviously they were there for, with concern on Mox and whatnot. A source also from WrestleVote stated that John Moxley walked back towards the arena under his own power, accompanied by a doctor and Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
And, well, I mean,
that's an odd combo, but go ahead.
Well, Orange Cassidy. I mean, to me, it's not really an odd combo, but anyway, but coming from PW Insider, the belief is John Moxley has suffered a concussion. So I'll just say this: if it's just a concussion, I'm glad it's just a concussion, not a broken neck.
Right.
We take these wrestler for advantage, and that, like, kind of like with the whole Bray Wyatt thing, like, just this happening, like, it's like we watch these pro wrestlers and we see these pro wrestlers and we take them for granted. And, at the end of the day, like, they're here for our entertainment, and, we can like them, we can not like them, whatever the case may be. But, we just need to appreciate what they're trying to do is trying to entertain us at the end of the day. If you agree with, what they do in the ring or whatnot, or what they do backstage or whatnot, or not backstage per se, but at the end of the day, they're all human beings. So if this is still an ongoing story, right now as of right now, the rumors, not confirmed, but the belief is that John Moxley has suffered concussion. So we'll find out more, and I'm sure we'll try to keep you guys updated.
Just regardless of how I feel about his wrestling, he's a guy. He's a human being. He's a husband. He's also a father. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't hate John Moxley. I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. I don't hate John Moxley. His wrestling is maybe one thing, but as a person, I don't hate the guy. By all accounts, I've heard he's a good dude. He's pretty chill to be around, so I really don't have anything against the guy personally. But yeah, just hopefully again, I'm glad. I just say I'm glad, but I'm glad it's not a broken neck, like kind of like.
Well, right. If I had to take a concussion or a broken neck, I'll take the concussion all day. So, right, but even like concussions are very serious too, as well. Knowing within that NFL and stuff. So, right. So it is very serious, like, what I mean, because we don't know what type of concussion it is and how serious it is. Right. But here's to a full recovery. For I
Moxley.
put the photo in the chat, by the way.
You had mentioned about we take these wrestlers for granted sometimes. This kind of segues into a quote that John Moxley had on an interview with, who the fuck was he talking to? It doesn't say the podcast or anybody he was talking to. It just says he was in an interview and he's mentioned that what his last conversation with Vince McMahon was. He says, "We take a lot of pride in our work and our work ethic and our standard that we set ourselves to and the way we do a job. To be one of those guys that's like reliable, kind of always there. The downside is it's very easy to take you for granted. The last conversation I had with Vince McMahon, like real conversation, he straight up told me we took you for granted." End quote. But,
and Vince, sometimes he comes out and flats out says things that he really believes in, and he believes that we took him for granted, like, or not we, but like WWE took him for granted. So, it's good on Vince actually admitting that, because sometimes he's so prideful on those type of things there. So, but as of right now, John Moxley is believed to have a concussion, but we'll keep you updated if there's any more news during this podcast. We'll be sure to update you.
And that was with Cage Side Seats. That was the website. But continue with your analysis of Dynamite tonight.
Yeah. So outside of that, Dynamite opened up tonight. Wait, what the frick did it open up with today? Oh yeah, it'll open up with Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli The match was the match, but I will say that it did pick up towards the end. I'm not a huge overall fan of Eddie Kingston's in-ring work, but I can admit, when he puts on good matches, I can admit it. And this ended up being a very good match. Eddie Kingston picks up the victory. And he's now the new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Really, since this was in Queens, this was really just for the moment. It wasn't really for anything else. It was just for the moment because Tony Khan's he's like Vince McMahon in a sense. Oh, let's have a moment, pal. So that's what this was. But it doesn't really matter. The Ring of Honor Championship doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So, so I don't know what they're gonna do for Final Battle. Final Battle, which is going to be in... I don't know if there's another pay-per-view before Final Battle in December. I may be wrong, but whenever the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view is, they may have a rematch. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure who's going to take that title off of Eddie Kingston other than Claudio. I'm not really paying attention to Ring of Honor, to be honest, to see who is up and coming, so I don't know. But as far as this match, it ended up being a good match. The last few minutes ended up being pretty good overall. Next, you had a quick segment with Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, and you know what? I gotta admit, man, Roddy, even though coming to AEW is oh man, he's coming to AEW is oh man, what is he gonna do? He is killing it in this role with this fucking neck brace thing, and just being a damaged person and being the jealous former best friend or still best friend of Adam Cole. And, pretty much long story short, the Kingdom was there, then Adam Cole showed up, then the Kingdom left. And Adam Cole was like, oh, I came to check on you. Oh, hey, how are you doing? And Adam Cole wasn't even there for 20 seconds. Oh, I gotta go, because I gotta, have MJ. MJ's back tonight. Max is back tonight. Then all of a sudden, all you hear is the old hospital bed screeching up, when it's being used to recline up, and you just hear the plastic in the mattress and the motor and Ryan's like, hey Adam, just leave. It was pretty funny. So it's on AEW's Twitter, so go check that out. Next match was Inner Circle. Well, before that, you had Christian and Luchasaurus just kind of promo. Christian issues a challenge to Darby Allin for a three-way. It's gonna be a three-way match between Christian and Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin on Collision. So that should be interesting there. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. Match overall was kind of mid, but again, kind of like the Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli match, it ended up being a good match at the very end. But Jericho picks up the win. But the main thing with this here is that Sammy Guevara turned heel on Chris Jericho, and at first I was like, oh man, this is kind of lame. But Don Callis came out, and if you're associated with Don Callis, Kenny Omega, Inosuke Takeshita, Will Ospreay, you're going to be looked at that from the casual perspective as not a top guy, but you're going to that next level, and Sammy Guevara may be going to that next level. So we'll see how this goes with this, but Sammy Guevara turns on Chris Jericho, and they did they did a callback to a WrestleMania 19. If you remember, Chris Jericho kicking Shawn Michaels in the balls and basically pie face him to the ground. I think we all remember that. They did the same spot here, and that's where Don Callis came out, started clapping, and he left with Don Callis. So, just real quick thoughts about that. I don't think you saw the match from judging what happened since your situation over there. But what do you think about Sammy Guevara being with Don Callis?
Well, I did see that on Twitter. Pretty much everyone posting about it. But I mean, it's interesting, that Guevara is kind of like on his own now. I mean, he's with another faction, but like, he's
it's just not him just being a heel by himself again. Like,
right.
It's like more. This has more of a purpose now, I think.
Right. But I guess the point is he's not under Jericho's like shadow essentially. So he's kind of like you said, he's being a heel on his own. Guevara works much better as a heel because he just has a very punchable face. Yeah. And he's, maybe a dick in real life, who knows? But it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. Wait and see.
All right. Next, after that, quick promo between MJF and Adam Cole. MJF pulled up in a Porsche. Nothing of relevance here. Just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you tonight, Samoa Joe." After that, backstage with Don Callis and Sammy Guevara. And basically, Sammy Guevara got in the face of Daniel Garcia. And Don Callis is like, no, he's a good kid. So, not too sure if Daniel Garcia will end up joining Don Callis. I'm not sure, but actually right now, I just like Don Callis have his family per se small. Sammy, Takeshita, you know what I mean? Will Ospreay, who comes over from Japan every now and then. I think that's small enough. You don't need to create a fucking big stable out of this. So if they do add Daniel Garcia, if they make Sammy and Daniel a tag team with Don Callis is back and go up tag team titles, and if it actually works, then fine, so be it. But he doesn't need 12 people in the group, so or in the family per se. Next was Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix. Kind of explained the match a little bit. Now, the beginning of this match, by the way, you saw Rey Fenix jumping off the stage. The stage was a little bit different than normal, so the stage was at height of the ring apron. So the stage was raised up, and Rey Fenix did a dive off the stage onto Eddie Kingston, but onto Jon Moxley, and it's to say that that this is probably another spot where Jon Moxley got hurt. He did look a little loopy in this match afterwards. The match overall itself, it was okay. It was I guess you want to say a spot fest, if you can say, but it was really on Rey Fenix's end, not really necessarily Moxley's end, because he doesn't do crazy spots like that. But yeah, not Moxley, but Rey Fenix, he did some crazy shit in this match though. But or explain ending the botch sit down power driver. Did 2 of those, and Rey Fenix is your new international champion. And at first, as soon as that happened, I was thinking okay, Moxley's hurt, because there was no way that Rey Fenix was going to win this match. If they were to book Rey Fenix to win this match, then I was like, okay, well, if this was the booking the entire time, then okay, why would you take the title off of Orange Cassidy just to have Mox have a a 2-week title reign? But it seemed after after the news came out, Moxley is legitimately hurt after that spot. So Saraya versus Toni Storm. This was a pretty good women's match, I gotta say, man. Very entertaining. A lot of false finishes. With Toni Storm using her new character in this match here, which I like. I really like her new 50s movie character, and basically she's kind of going mad with that. And but basically, long story short, a lot of false finishes in this match, but Saraya ends up picking up the win here. She ends up picking up the win here after hitting that DDT that she likes to use from the second rope. But very entertaining match. I think this is gonna play one to Toni Storm's character to go even more mad, and we'll just see where it goes from there. After that, your main event. Before the main event, MJF did the Bret Hart New Generation Bret. So they kind of did a reenactment of that with this kid, and basically MJF, after he gave the kid his scarf, he whispered something in the little kid's ear, and the kid told his dad, "What do you mean, top it?" So that was pretty funny. Well, match overall, MJF showing he has great babyface tendencies, like he really does. It's showing that if he were to go to WWE, I mean, not even just WWE, but he's showing that into AEW, he can work babyface and heel, obviously, right? But he can work babyface, and the crowd can be behind him. So, so it was being worked on his neck the entire match. Samoa Joe was working on MJF's neck the entire time. We saw a kangaroo kick from MJF, which is pretty much over. We saw a Death Valley driver on the ring apron by Samoa Joe. We saw a power driver on the concrete by Samoa Joe. And yeah, pretty much long story short, the story of this match is that working on MJF's neck, but MJF keeps kicking out. He's like Super Cena, so which can get a little bit annoying, but you know, at the end of the day, it's AEW, so everyone's going to be kicking out of everyone's stuff regardless. But at the same time, too, I did not think that Samoa Joe was going to win this match at all. It made no sense for the story between MJF and Adam Cole and what's going on with Roddy Strong. Like, it didn't make sense for Samoa Joe to win. But yeah, but at the end of it all, MJF, as a babyface, cheated to win. He used a part of his wrist tape, choked Samoa Joe out, and puts him in a guillotine. And I'm sorry, a rear naked choke. A rear naked choke, chokes out Samoa Joe, and that was it. And you know, at the end of the day, you had Adam Cole, who was out there too. Oh yeah, Adam Cole came out towards the end of this match, and he jumped off the same side where Ray Phoenix jumped off on the race stage. Adam Cole hurt himself. He definitely hurt himself. So I don't know if he just tweaked it or whatnot. It wasn't, but he could barely. He was limping pretty bad. So hope Adam Cole's okay with that, because yeah, you didn't want to hurt yourself in that situation there. But he seems to be walking on it just fine. But we'll probably get some news about it maybe tomorrow. So we'll hear about that. But if we get more about Adam Cole tonight, we'll update you for that too as well. But Dynamite went off the air with no heel turn. There was no Edge or nobody like that. Edge ain't coming. You
mean you mean Damon Stryker?
Well, Adam Copeland, he ain't coming.
Sexton Hardcastle?
Yeah, Sexton Hardcastle, yeah. He ain't coming. He ain't coming, baby. At least not until the next couple months or so. But MJF Samoa Joe shakes hands at the end, and MJF celebrates with Adam Cole to end the show, and that was Dynamite. Give it a strong 8.5 out of 10. Very good show. I really enjoyed the show overall. They usually, with these Dynamites that they have, like Winter's Coming, Grand Slam, usually these events they usually hit, and this hit pretty well. Lot of good wrestling, a lot of good storytelling. You know, with the exception of like the Moxley Ray Phoenix match, and honestly, if it was because that Moxley was concussed the entire time, I'm not really gonna hold that against them. You know what I mean? Like, if it was like just him just finishing that match is just amazing. If it was concussed at the beginning of the match, so. But yeah, very good show overall. Great show, I should say. Very enjoyable.
So I just saw in the video you were talking about with MJF. Let me play it real quick.
That look is MJF!
Okay.
Go get him, champ!
Oh God.
Dad, I'm adopted?
Oh God. Oh, MJF is the best. So, alright, Dynamite went off the air. Sounds like I missed a pretty decent show.
It was fun, man. I really like the show. Really like what they did. Now, really, the only story worth noting is the MJF Alco in the Kingdom with Roddy Strong. That was really the only main advancement there. Everything else was just really good matches, but at least the most important story got advancement here. There was no Young Bucks. There was no Kenny. I don't know. You're probably happy about that, but no Ricky Starks. So yeah, I mean, could have been better. Yeah, sure. And obviously Jericho and Sammy Guevara. That's like the other biggest thing that came out of the show. So.
All right, so we had the Saturday show, which was the big special edition. So we did talk about SmackDown. Let's move to Monday Night Raw. It was in Salt Lake City this past week, and it was actually a pretty good Raw. It was actually the best Raw in quite a while, actually.
I thought it was really, really damn good. One of the best Raws of 2023.
Let's just kind of go through it real quick. So the show opened with Dom and Cody. Dom is mad that Nia Jax hurt Mommy last week, Rhea. And then it was funny, Cody was telling Dom, it seems like you're more into her than she is into you. It seems like maybe she has more interest in Jay. So kind of planting some seeds, maybe not. And then they had a match. Cody won. Decent match. Nothing to really write home about, but decent match. Probably the surprise match of the night next was Kofi Kingston versus Ivar.
Surprising as far as the time given and what they executed, but it's not surprising to me because you got two great professional wrestlers, and it just shows that Ivar is a fucking great wrestler.
Right. I say surprising because it's just when you think of match of the night, you're like, okay, is it Cody versus Finn, right, or is it Damian Priest versus Drew? It's no, it's Kofi Kingston versus Ivar. It's that was the match of the night, and not because I'm shitting on Kofi. I love Kofi. I mean, we haven't seen Kofi like this in a while to really go out there and actually be given more time to perform. And Ivar, another guy like we always say, we take these guys for granted. I didn't know he was this fucking good. They went out there.
Watch him in NXT. If you watch NXT every weekend, 2017, 2018, right, the potential of this guy, and I'm glad that glad that he got to showcase himself.
Right, but man, they had Kofi looking like Kofi from 2010, and he was in his bag, as the kids would say, and he was taking everything that Ivar was giving him. Ivar had that fucking that moonsault off the top rope, and I'm like, all right, I guess they're giving Ivar a win, and Kofi kicked out. I'm like, ooh.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that was amazing. Usually those spots there, you see Kofi roll out the way, but no, Kofi took it, man. Took it and kicked out, too, so that's what made it even better.
Stuff like this, I see this, and I go, this has to be a Triple H thing. Giving these two actual time to go out there and have a good match. So...
you don't think it was Vince? Vince changed a lot of things on this show, apparently.
If this was Vince, this match would have been 7 minutes or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So how long was this match? Do you know?
It was about 13, 14 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to say, I may be wrong.
Fucking 300 pounds falling on Kofi Kingston, and Kofi took it like a man. So another guy we kind of take for granted. I mean, this guy was the WWE champion at one point. He's won every single title in the company. So Kofi's fucking good. Kofi is someone we need to stop forgetting about, and he is one of the best. He's currently one of the best going, for this company and also in wrestling maybe. But Kofi won, good match. Next you had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet. Nakamura continuing his feud with Rollins. Rollins wants the rematch, but Nakamura wants to fuck with him. He's just straight up we'll wrestle on my time. So he wrestles Ricochet. The match ends in DQ after Seth gets involved. And Nakamura kept going after that back. And let's see, Rollins pretty much had to be helped. Not pretty much, but he got helped to the back and was damn near crawling. And so he just sold Nakamura, I want you, at Fastlane. So we're getting that match again. I don't know if it's going to be a regular wrestling match or just a stipulation? What do you think?
I think it has to be some type of stipulation. I don't know what it'll be, like a submission match, or I don't know. But I think that it needs to have the ante upped a little bit, because if it's just another regular one-on-one match, yeah, there's more heat there, but there's not as much higher stakes. So have some type of stipulation. Doesn't have to be crazy, but some type of stipulation to give a little bit more heat.
All right. Next, you had Piper Niven and Chelsea Green versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. And I don't know, I guess, yeah, it was a non-title match. And then no contest when Nia came out and just destroyed everybody. Specifically, they went after Shayna. Last time Nia was on WWE television, well, before last week, Shayna took her out. So Nia got her revenge. So Nia is after everybody, not just baby faces and heels. She's after everybody. She wants to slap bitches around, as she would say. So, what do you think about this Nia storyline?
I don't care.
Okay.
Let me ask this question, and I think I asked this question last week.
Okay.
Nia, she has her job back. Great. Like, happy. I'm happy. I really am happy for Nia as far as getting her job back, as far as be able to, perform again, things of that nature. Good for her. Good for her. She's making her money. She's doing what she wants to do. Good for her. And she looks good. She looks good too. She lost weight. Like, she's looking better than what she once was. All that being said, what is this going to do for the women's division?
Make it more interesting.
Are you more interested?
I'm a little interested, yeah. I mean, because again, for the longest time, it was just Rhea and Bianca, and Raquel a little bit. Or Raquel's not really panning out that well, but now that you got Nia back into the mix, it's like, okay, you got somebody who's like, I got everybody on lock. It's not just champion.
So what's the end result of this?
I mean, if I had to guess, maybe a little anticlimactic. It's going to be Rhea just beating her and doing the Riptide.
Yep. Okay.
If I had to guess,
that's why I'm not excited, because we know where this is going.
Right.
I much rather have, if you're going to have this happen, or have not a new star, but someone to go up the ranks again, try different people. Try something new. Now, we were going to get Becky versus Tegan Nox, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but that match didn't happen. So we were almost there with that. But again, you're not using Tegan Nox. You're not using Candice LeRae. You're not using Indy Hartwell. You're not using Nikki Cross. You're not using, I was going to say Eva, but Jesus Christ. Emma. You're not using Emma. Like, why are these women that you signed back to the roster or brought from NXT, or whatever the case may be, why are they signed with the company if you're not going to use them? What's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? You decide to go outside of, well, not outside WWE, but you decide to get another free agent and bring them back in. A free agent who hurt people in the past, who apparently hurt Rhea and Raquel as well. Probably more so Rhea than Raquel, because she really did sit down on Rhea Ripley. And if you don't watch Steve Richards, he has a YouTube channel. He kind of broke it down, and it's a very insightful channel on looking at like botches and things of that nature, and moves being done and stuff like that. So you bring back Nia Jax. She hurts your biggest woman star the first night she comes back. How is this benefiting the women's roster? It's not.
Right. All right. Next, we have Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Chad wants another match against Gunther. Bronson says, nope, back of the line. They go out there and have a pretty good match. I mean, it's Chad Gable and it's Bronson Reed. I like Bronson Reed. Think he's great. Bronson
he did beat Okada too, by the way.
He definitely beat Okada. And he won. He won the match. I can't really say I'm surprised because it's Bronson. He won with a Tsunami. I don't really have a problem with this per se because it's a storyline for Chad to basically kind of like start from the beginning, on his way back to Gunther. So I really have no issues with Bronson winning because I like Bronson. I like to see Bronson get more accolades and more TV time. And and the guy's a beast.
What they're doing with Bronson Reed and Tommaso Ciampa is what should have been done to the women's division.
Right.
They're giving new guys new opportunities here, right? Finally. It seems like Bronson Reed is going to be in the thick of the Intercontinental Championship. So is Tommaso Ciampa. And also along with Chad Gable as well. Chad Gable, he's, still in the upstart of his singles career, and putting that quotation, singles career. So I'm good with Bronson Reed winning. And you know what's so good about this? It makes it a division. Go figure. Wins and losses matter. Wins and losses matter. And now, instead of just having Gunther versus Chad Gable, right? Which is two people, you double up the possibilities. Now you got, maybe Gable versus Ciampa coming up. Maybe you got Ciampa versus Bronson coming up. You got Bronson versus Gunther, or Ciampa versus Gunther, or a triple threat match with Gunther and Ciampa and Bronson. Like I love this. Love what they're doing here with this. Maybe we get like another one or two more people in there. In that thick, make it a real division. At the end of the day, it is going places. I really like what they did as far as focus on the Intercontinental division on Monday. It was great.
All right. Continuing with the women, you got Becky Lynch coming out as the new NXT Women's Champion, and she wants to do an open challenge. Originally it was supposed to be Tegan Knox, but then they changed that to Natalya, who apparently was, I guess this is like a consolation prize for her doing the India tour. And everyone knows
they could not do this like the following. I mean, even at that, I was still complaining, but like the following week or the week after or the week, like they had to do this on this night when knowing that Tegan Knox was going to get an opportunity.
Right. Yeah. Just again, I'm not the biggest Tegan Knox fan, but yeah, the whole point of this was let's give it to newer people. And again, Tegan Knox doesn't get a reaction, but it's just like it's one of those things of like, what's like you just said, what's the point of signing these people back if you're not going to use them? But
well, how can you get a reaction if you don't get an opportunity?
No, the thing is, I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm agreeing with you because RJ kind of said the same thing a while back of like, what's the point of signing all these women if you're just not going to use them?
Right.
But anyways, Natty came out and we talked about this earlier at your store where Natty, cut that promo of like, oh, you're taking away opportunities, A, B, C, and D, which, I had said it sounds wrong coming from her because Natty has been given opportunities. And then you're like, but she has a point. I'm like, yeah, she has a point, but it just doesn't sound right coming from her. But they had a match. It was okay. Natty, great wrestler, but I don't care. I don't care about anything she has to do. But what'd you think about the match?
Fine. It was fine for the match that what it was, you know what I mean? But and one thing, and I'll give Becky Lynch credit on this, the promo that she cut, she said, "Oh, I expected someone a lot younger than you," which is alluding to the situation with Tegan Knox. So I see it from both sides because Natty was right saying that, hey, you went to NXT just to stomp all over the women down there, so you just get a title. And and Becky, she was like, well, I expected someone a lot younger than you. At the end of the day, I'm just call it what it is. Becky Lynch does not need the NXT Women's Championship.
Nope.
It does nothing for her career.
I mean, it's just I saw a report that and you're not going to care either way, but like the reason why Dom and Becky Lynch are champions is basically for Endeavor to kind of sell NXT to Endeavor as like the strong third brand. So
No, it's not that. It's more of, hey, we're trying to get a new deal on for either like USA or whoever. Whenever the new deal comes up, we're just trying to get a new deal. That's number one. And also number two as well, they want to make sure that they have a decent crowd for these pay-per-views. So for No Mercy in California, they want to make sure they have a decent crowd. Becky's is gonna draw a good crowd. Dom is gonna help draw a good crowd. So that's what it really is at the end of the day. Like Endeavor, like they know, they already knew what they were buying already with NXT. Like they already knew what they were getting with NXT already. This is really more a chess move for contract negotiations for television and fan attendance for their pay-per-views. Like whenever the next NXT pay-per-view after No Mercy, wherever they're going to be at, right? I guarantee you they're going to bring another main roster person down, right? Not necessarily win a championship, but they may challenge for a championship, or they may have a match per se, because they've been doing this all year. And hold on, so let me pull it up really quick here. Let's go to Wiki. Alrighty, so I think February. So yeah, so the NXT Vengeance Day, right? Did you have anyone that came down? Yeah, you had, no, actually you didn't have nobody come down. So Vengeance Day, which was in Charlotte, North Carolina. That pay-per-view, it did not include anyone from the main roster. I was going to say Apollo Crews, but he was still technically in NXT at the time. But that was before the sale, too. When the sale was in place, Stand and Deliver, right? You had Johnny Gargano that came down to face off against Grayson Waller, right? And Johnny Gargano's like Mr., freaking NXT. So, of course, that was going to happen. You get a little bit more people there. NXT Battleground, let's see. Did you have anybody that came down here? Oh, no. Okay. So NXT Battleground looks like it was just a regular show. It looks like nobody came down. Then you had the Great American Bash. Someone definitely did come down. I think that was Dom. Yeah, so Dom, that's where he came down. So Dom came down for NXT Great American Bash. And even last year as well, if you think about it, they had Dolph Ziggler that came down. Seth Rollins came down as far as a match on NXT as well. So they're going to keep doing these stunts just to like appease to either USA or Fox or Disney or whoever's going to take in NXT and Raw or even SmackDown on the next deal. So, but yeah. But anyway, continue.
All right. Next, you had Giovanni Vinci versus Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso won Gunther. I mean, it pretty much looks like that. So, Vinci and Ciampa had a pretty decent match. I think it was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, way too short though.
Ciampa got the win, so I'm assuming he's going to go after Kaiser pretty soon. And then he had the main event, unless I missed anything. No, he had the main event, which was Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. The big story for the past, 2 weeks, is the Judgment Day want Jey Uso. They want either Jey Uso or Jimmy, but they really want Jey. Damian Priest even talks to Jey before the match, pretty much just saying, don't make me look bad. So it's Jey and Drew. Drew still does not trust Jey, just doesn't. And Judgment Day come out during the match. Pretty good match, really good main event. I was surprised by how much the good chemistry that these two had. I mean, Drew for a big guy knows how to sell. Like he really does sell well for a big guy, and Jey, I think, just naturally knows how to work with anyone. So they had a really good back and forth. But kind of the big story was just the Gaga with Judgment Day. During the match, Damian gets on the top rope and is talking to Jey. Jey super kicks him, super kicks Dom, super kicks Finn, and then Drew does the Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Walks out of the ring. Judgment Day surround him and beat the shit out of him. Drew is looking back, thinking, should I help him? Should I not? Decides I'm not going to help him. Cody comes out to, I guess, I would say even the odds, but still 2-on-3. So I was like expecting maybe like Owens or not Owens, but like Sami Zayn to come out or whatever.
Well, no, he left for Kevin Owens earlier in the show.
Okay, then it's just Cody.
Yeah, that's why they weren't there.
So, I mean, we already talked about this. We already know Drew's going heel. Like, he's all but turning heel. It's all a matter of like when it's going to happen and why it happens. Me personally, here's how I kind of look at it, because I was talking about this with RJ and Monty yesterday morning. I look at it as like RJ has the idea of Kevin Owens should go heel, and I really don't want that to happen. I like him better as a face. I like him better in the spot. I think it's going to be, just my personal opinion, that Owens eventually is going to accept Jay. He'd be like, all right, you're cool. We're fine. We're past it. How you get Drew to go heel is Drew's like, no, I'm not going to accept you. Like, pretty much like, piss off. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't know if they're going to bring back Riddle. I don't know when or that's going to happen. But that can be a deciding factor, or one of many deciding factors on how you get Drew to turn heel. Is he's like, screw you, screw everybody else in this arena. Like, screw the fans, blah, blah, blah. And that's how you have Drew go heel.
He should have just Claymored Cody at the end of the show. That would have been great.
I mean, I
understand they're doing a slow burn with it, but I think that could have got the ball rolling. But if this leads to Cody versus Drew McIntyre, this is a feud that I am interested in. It is finally something that Cody can sink his teeth into, is in a story like this. The Brock Lesnar storyline did not do a goddamn thing for Cody Rhodes. It did not do nothing. Cody is the same exact Cody Rhodes from WrestleMania all the way through to now. There's nothing that's changed. Brock Lesnar did not enhance him, despite what WWE wants you to believe. Like, Cody had a broken arm, and I'm still not sure how his arm just magically, recovered, even though he was using a broken arm and, he had a cast, but, Brock was still breaking it, whatever. But, at the end of the day, though, I think this is going to be really good for both. Drew has been stagnant as a babyface, not necessarily boring per se, but stagnant, kind of, in the middle of the road. Having him as a heel is going to be a little bit fresher life to not just to him, but to Monday Night Raw as well. So I'm definitely for it. Right.
I think, with Cody, it's like beating Brock clean in the ring. That should have been a way to really push him as don't get it wrong. Like, Cody is still over. He's the most over babyface.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it's one of those things of he beat Brock, and it's like, all right, next thing. On to the next thing. It's like, we're not gonna do something. We're not gonna do something with that. But
they haven't done anything with Cody for a while. There was really nothing that Cody's really been doing substantial for a while. This here, give it a couple pay-per-views. With Drew and Cody, and I think they'll do well. I think they do well with this for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
That was Raw, people. Raw, pretty good. Probably one of the best Raws in a while, actually.
Yeah, one of the best Raws of 2023, I think.
Oh yeah. NXT happened yesterday. The show opened with Becky Lynch promising Tiffany Stratton a rematch whenever she wanted. Which she wanted at No Mercy, which is going to be next week, actually. Next Saturday. Kiana James came out to blindside Becky Lynch, along with Tiffany Stratton. And, that's what happened. Ilya Dragunov promised he would be ready for his match with Hayes. And the family agreed to defend their title against the Creed brothers, Los Lotharios, and the winner between Bronco Nima and Lucien Price and Hank the Tank. So, yeah. Butch versus Tyler Bate. First, not the first time these guys have wrestled each other, but the first time in a while.
Definitely not.
These two are just great together. Not the biggest Butch Pete Dunne fan, but he was. I can't deny that the guy is good. Him and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had a great match. I would have preferred if Bate won. I mean, just personal preference. I like Bate a little better. But Butch won, so I mean, I'm not really bitching about it. I just kind of wanted Bate to win. But he won the Group A, or I guess one from Group A, and is gonna be in the finals for the Global Heritage.
And let's just talk about the finish there, where he did the better end, I guess, where he basically did a fucking sit down power driver that actually didn't hurt, hurt anyone. So yeah, but even like these two guys, they know each other like the back of their hand. So, but yeah, great fucking match. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, one of my like underrated matches of the past like 10 years was them two at TakeOver Chicago. Fantastic match.
Awesome. Next is another Global Heritage Invitational: Joe Coffey versus Duke Hudson. Good match. Nothing to really write home about. Hudson defeated Joe by pinfall, leading to a 3-way tie in Group B of the Global Heritage Invitational.
Yeah.
Then match. Right. Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice. My match of the night for different reasons. Perez beat Lola Vice. Perez showing more aggression each week, so good. You had Carmelo Hayes versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
You missed a couple things there. You missed the Thea Hale and JC Jane segment, and the update on Von Kali. How you gonna skip over Von Kali? I will never forgive you for this.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. So, provide us with this emotional update on Von Kali.
Well, it was just Robert Stone leaving looks like a hospital, and he says, it was on Twitter too, but it says, saw Vaughn, not good. He appreciates all the well wishes. And I would just like to say this. I went to go visit Vaughn earlier today as well. It was actually before you came in the shop. I was down in Florida, and he's in a coma right now, and I made him wake up, and all I did was got on my hands and knees. I was like, Von Kali! And he's one of his eyes opened, so he's got me back.
Is that why you were crying when I came in?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're a blessing. You're a blessing. Thea Hale.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Thea Hale and JC Jane. JC Jane continuing to lead Thea down the path of darkness, taking away that young, innocent, kind-hearted girl that she used to be and making her bad, just bad. She took her clothes shopping, a la any 80s clothes montage scene where
or Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman, there you go. That's whatever. Thea Hale dressing like a bad girl. What do you think about Thea Hale being bad?
Yeah, I mean, it's good for a character. I mean, I'm liking that they're trying something different with her, right? And obviously, she could be a an infectious babyface. Like I love her charisma. I love her character. I love what she does. But seeing her as a heel, and she's not like officially heel yet. Like she hasn't really done any heel tendencies. The only thing that she's really right now, she's really just sick of being under Chase U and just being controlled. She hasn't really done anything heelish yet. So once she does something heelish, then that's where I want to see this story go. So yeah, I'm really am enjoying what they're doing with her for sure.
Right. I think this was the main event. No, it's not the main event. Yeah, Dirty Dom versus Carmelo Hayes, a champion versus champion match, non-title. Okay match, nothing special. I mean, the big news out of it was Ilya was sitting by the announcers table, and there was a spot where not Hayes, but Hayes throws Dom into Ilya. Dom comes back and slaps Ilya, which bad idea. I mean, you saw the giant.
You don't want to do that.
You saw a giant fucking vein on the side of his head. So Ilya came in and just beat the shit out of Dom. So basically setting up Ilya and Melo's match. at No Mercy.
Yep.
But thoughts?
I mean, it was just to advance the story, which I'm okay with. So, I mean, the match itself was okay, but I wasn't expecting these guys to go fucking balls to the wall for a short TV match. So it got the point across. It told the story, and we'll see what happens with the Ilya and Carmelo, and also throughout the show as well. I guess we missed this here, but they're telling the story throughout the show as well, and actually all over the past couple weeks of Trick, being forgotten about by Carmelo, and so you saw at one point you did see the Schism come and talk to Trick, and you saw Dom come and talk to Trick, and so they're really egging on this potential heel turn for Trick Williams, which we all know is probably going to happen, but so that's one thing to definitely keep your eye out on for this NXT show.
All right. And next is you had the Global Heritage Invitational, Nathan Frazier versus Duke Hudson versus Joe Coffey. Triple threat since there was a big tie. Coffey got the win in a pretty good match. A pretty good triple threat match between three men. I haven't seen much of Joe Coffey, but this is probably one of my, in my opinion, this is just going off of what I've seen from this is probably the best viewing I've seen of Coffey so far.
Joe Coffey's good. He's just a bland character per se, so there's gonna be people who's not gonna like that, but I like when it comes to like bland characters and whatnot, I'm like, okay, he may be bland. What is his in-ring? If his in-ring's not good, do I enjoy your character at least? I try to find something that I would like about you, at least, right? Like, Nathan Frazier, like he seems not geeky, but yeah, I guess you could say geeky. Nathan Frazier's kind of geeky. I'm like, I'm not really feeling the character, but we all know that Nathan Frazier's like a fucking dynamo in the ring, like just a, full of dynamite. And someone like Duke Hudson, he's pretty balanced. Like he's okay, fine in the ring. He has a okay character, nothing to stand out. So yeah, Joe Coffey, he's pretty damn good at what he does in the ring, but character wise, like, he can definitely be better at that.
Right. So it looks like it's going to be Butch and Joe Coffey at No Mercy in the finals. So,
well, I think I don't think it's No Mercy. I think it's next week.
So the finals is next week, and the winner is going to face
Noam Dar at No Mercy.
Okay.
Which should be Butch.
All right. Yeah.
I don't want to see heel versus heel.
No. Main event, you had Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James. Of course, the faces won over. Pretty good match. Lyra, I like Lyra. I mean, I wasn't crazy about Lyra at first, but now I'm sold on her. I think she's really good. Pairing the two Irish girls up, it was interesting, against Tiffany and Kiana. After which it was announced that Tiffany and Becky's rematch, or I guess Tiffany's rematch against Becky for the title at No Mercy will be Extreme Rules. So
that's really going to test Tiffany. I think they're preparing Tiffany for the main roster because they're putting her against Becky, the one-on-one match. She passed with flying colors in that one-on-one match, even though she should have won. But and she's she's definitely going to pass with flying colors in the Extreme Rules match because, like, if they're going to put Tiffany in this Extreme Rules match, obviously they have high hopes for her. But also, number two, usually with long feuds with women, it always ends in a type of hardcore Extreme Rules match of some sort.
Right.
So this is just a test run for her. I can't wait to see it. Very anticipated. As of right now, probably my most anticipated match for No Mercy. That's the one I'm probably going to be paying attention to the most to kind of see what happens. Lyra, I love Lyra. Fantastic. I mean, you know how I feel about Lyra. Like, she's just fucking great. Kiana James, she is really, really improving, and I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing from Kiana as well. And we did the tier list on Saturday here, and it just shows how deep the NXT women's roster is. And there are some people who was watching the show thinking that Jade was gonna come out. I'm like, why are we rushing Jade? like let's chill on that for a second. But she's gonna come when she's gonna come. But a lot of people were kind of upset that, oh my god, it should be Jade that should have came out to help Becky. I'm like, oh Jesus, guys, just chill, calm down. She's gonna come, and I think she should be in NXT, but I think WWE's gonna put her on the main roster at first. So I don't even think that Jade's gonna be in NXT, even though she should be. But yeah, great main event, fun main event for sure.
That was NXT, people. Let's go to the news. I have a few news things. I know Justin does, and we'll get into the PWI list. I guess we can start with the tryouts. Multiple indie wrestlers are at the WWE Performance Center. 12 of them, actually. The list of names include former NWA World's Women Tag Team Champion Maddie Rankowski, MLW veteran Richard Holliday, OVW and Wildstar Hollywood Hallie J, AEW Dark alumni Valentina Rossi, MLW alumni Ray Jazz, NWA referee and wrestler Jamie Stanley, AEW Dark veteran Jay Malachi, Damaris Largo, Kelsey Hornack, Copeland Barbie, The Monster Factory's Davey Gold, and finally Brogan Finley, the son of wrestling legend Fit Finley. We talked about this earlier at the shop. Overall, what are your thoughts on? I guess not really so much as your thoughts, but like, who do you see out of this whole list as somebody who can be something for the company?
Holiday for sure. Definitely him. I mean, he has probably the most experience. Maddie, not just because she's a local girl, she's a local girl here in San Antonio, but also I just see her in ring stuff. What she's doing, her character work. She has like her character is like, hey, I'm the main character in my world, and basically all you guys are side characters. And she cuts little promos and whatnot. That's pretty funny. That's on her Instagram, so check that out. Jasmine Allure, who wrestled Izzy Girl. So she's a local here pretty much as well. Finley's boy. I mean, if you're a son of a pretty well acclaimed pro wrestler, I mean, I'm gonna keep my eye out for you as well. And also, the brother of David Finley as well, who's the new Bullet Club leader. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, outside that, yeah, I mean, I think everyone. This is my biggest thing. WWE is going back to the Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You need people from the Indies who are more well established, who are more ready to be on TV on NXT, and let the NIL folks get all the necessary training that they need. They need all that necessary training down at the PC. Don't rush these guys on TV. Now, it ended up working for a lot of people, like Tiffany Stratton, for one. I mean? She shows that she's just a natural, right? But for the folks who do need more time, keep them on level up, and have them practice inside a performance center, right? Don't need to bring them up to NXT if you don't think they're fully already yet. So, but yeah, I can't wait to it's not even confirmed that any of these guys will get signed, but I see Finley's boy getting signed. I see Richard Holiday getting signed just because of the story of of what he had to go through. I'm hoping Maddie gets signed just because I know the talent that she is. So those will probably be at least my top three.
Hallie J was recently featured as part of Netflix's new show, The Wrestlers,
yeah, she's good as well.
Wrestlers.
Yeah.
One of OVW's wrestlers, so cool. Richard Holliday recently returned to the ring at a GCW show after battling stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. Much respect. I mean, everyone else we just named. What else can I talk about? Randy Orton reportedly seen at the WWE Performance Center. There was a video reported that Orton's bus was already parked at the facility. There was also a video of somebody filming Orton walking to the Performance Center, just waving, saying hi, but also doing the symbol, like keep it a secret. Orton has been adamant that the Sources close to Orton have reportedly been adamant that the third-generation wrestler is determined to return to the ring following the back fusion surgery that he underwent last November. This despite Cowboy Bob Orton's shocking comments earlier this year that the doctors have advised his son to call it quits on his wrestling career. Yeah, so it looks like he's coming back pretty soon, so good, because, we need Orton back. Orton's good for the show, and, there's a lot of feuds that we can put Orton in right now, so. But, thoughts on Orton coming back?
I mean, right, it's fucking Randy Orton. Anything that he does, is gonna be primed to see when he comes back. So at this point, it's just how is he gonna come back? How are they gonna run back on TV? And I will say this: whatever brand that Cody is on, make sure that Randy Orton is on that same brand.
Right.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because that'll be a great feud that they can use for Cody going into WrestleMania. If Orton's back before WrestleMania, that'll be a one good feud for Cody's adversity for him to go into WrestleMania. Or even that'll be a great first feud after Cody wins the title. So either or. I think Orton should be on the same brand with Cody, but yeah, happy for Orton. Seems like he's on his way back, so we'll just see. We'll just hopefully his back is good, he's healthy, and he's ready to go.
Absolutely. Lastly, this isn't really news. This is more of just like a, I guess like a fact, like a fun fact thing. I just thought it was interesting to talk about. The most surprising losses of Triple H's career. So let me bring him up real quick. Being the historian that you are, Mr. Justin. He lost to Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 12. In what is it, like a 3-minute squash match?
No, it was less than that.
Like
it wasn't even a minute.
Jesus Christ, I remember that. That was during that time when, or was that before the curtain call, right?
That was WrestleMania. Yeah, I believe that was before the current call. Yeah, no, that was after.
Really?
I think so.
Because that was WrestleMania 12, so Diesel was already there. Diesel was already on the show. Wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, the current call was after. Yeah, no, current call was after. Probably maybe like a few weeks after that, maybe.
Right. Raw, on an episode of Raw, June 3rd, 96, he lost to Jake the Snake Roberts. So this was more than likely before King of the Ring, when it was actually supposed to be Triple H winning that, but because of the curtain call, he's the only one that got punished. So he had to pretty much get jobbed out for a whole year. And Jake went on to wrestle Steve Austin in the King of the Ring, and I heard Steve Austin did pretty well after that. Triple H versus The Rock, Backlash 2000. The Rock won. Triple H versus Hulk Hogan, Backlash 2002. Hogan won after Taker came out and interfered. Triple H versus Goldberg, Unforgiven 03. Goldberg won. The stipulation was that if Goldberg lost, he'd have to leave WWE. Like forever. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Redacted at WrestleMania 20. Redacted won. Yeah.
That's like the Psycho thing, like.
Are you saying the reboot of Psycho should just be Benoit coming out to Our Lady Peace?
Hey man, you said not me. Yeah, it's like the Halloween theme. Like, they make a horror movie about Chris Benoit being a killer.
Jesus, did you ever see that video of Paul London where he's like reviewing wrestling books, and he's high in the video, and he's just like, he has like a random Chris Benoit WCW action figure, which I actually had that figure, and he just starts playing with the figure, and you just hear him go.
I don't watch Paul London. He's not my cup of tea per se, but I appreciate what he does. But it's just not my cup of tea.
It was a funny video. Triple H versus Shelton Benjamin on an episode of Raw from March 29th, 2004, which Shelton won. So that started Shelton's push, which that was shocking. I didn't see that coming. Triple H versus Randy Orton, No Mercy 07, which I remember that night. Triple H beat Orton in the beginning of the night after Orton was rewarded the title after Cena, got hurt. And then Triple H beat him, and then later on that night he wrestled Umaga. And I think he wrestled somebody else. No, it was Orton Umaga, and then it was Orton again, and Orton won.
Just 3 times, yeah.
So, remember that.
Yeah, that's WCW 2000 in a nutshell right there.
Jesus Christ. Triple H versus Randy Orton and John Cena at WrestleMania 28? No,
versus
20,
John Cena at 22.
24.
Oh, did you say John Cena versus Triple H?
Triple H versus Randy Orton versus John Cena. That was
the 24, yeah, 24.
That was 08. So Orton won. Triple H versus Sheamus, Extreme Rules 2010. Sheamus won by taking out Triple H, and that was I guess kind of the beginning of Triple H not being full time afterwards. Triple H versus Curtis Axel on an episode of Raw from May 20th, 2013. Curtis Axel won. They tried to make him a thing. And that's it. Those are the surprising matches that Triple H lost.
That's interesting. What made you do that?
I don't know. I just saw it. I just thought it looked interesting. Kind of wanted to run it by you, run it by the chat, see what they think. Hopefully it was entertaining.
Okay. Yeah. No, it was cool. I was like, cool. I was like, we're talking about Triple H losing. That's cool, though.
I lost.
Alrighty. Well, I have a few news stories here. A lot of these are pretty quick that we can go through here. There may be some talk on a couple of these, but outside of that, really nothing here. So, first, Jade Cargill news. And kind of not. This is not really news per se, but this is a quote from Tony Khan, your favorite person in the whole entire world, from the Superstar crossover.
Oh boy.
He said, I'm not too sure exactly when, but he said, as far as Jade Cargill goes, I can't really comment on that except to say that she's been a great wrestler for AEW and certainly always welcome in AEW. Could always be somebody we will always love to work with here in AEW. So, seems like Tony Khan doesn't have no ill will towards Jade. It seems like he is very cordial with Jay for obvious reasons. So, any thoughts about that on Khan's quote there?
Yeah, not really. I mean, he's just trying to be nice, I guess.
Well, I will say this: at least Tony Khan, he doesn't hold grudges for what seems like for the most part. I mean, at least so far with these guys. Or I don't know how if Warlow goes over there and Ricky Starks, and I don't know if that'll keep up, but. He seems to not hold those types of grudges. But keeping it with Jade, with Dave Meltzer, who is WWE, are doing main roster creative for Jade right now and is high priority. So seems like WWE is doing hopefully some big things with Jade when she gets in. Me personally, I think she should go to NXT. I don't understand what the big rush is for her. Coming into the main roster immediately, like have her in NXT, develop her in ring for 6 months. You know what I mean? Maybe to a year, maybe a year's probably too long, but at least 6 months, and then bring her up to the main roster. Because if you're gonna use her as a big time star, she needs to learn how to have longer matches and learn how to be a better in-ring performer. Because if you're gonna do Jade versus Charlotte, Jade versus Rhea, Jade versus Bianca, like all three of those women, despite how you feel about them, they're all fucking great women's professional wrestlers, and Jade is not in that category as far as in-ring look. Persona, abso-fucking-lutely, even better than some. But as far as in ring, yeah, like I think I don't understand the rush with her. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I kind of like you. I'd prefer she go to NXT first, just to kind of learn the system and obviously get better. I'm when you were talking, I was kind of thinking about something with Jade. So I get the feeling that they really I mean, because like what you said, they already have creative ideas for her. What if they bring Jade in as the one to beat Becky for the NXT title?
Well, they have main roster. They have main roster plans for her.
I mean, yeah, but what if those change?
If those change, then I'm okay with it, but you're already pinning yourself into a corner already.
Right.
Because you're going to have Jay beat every fucking body. Which I guess, because, you know, she did the same thing in AEW, but I'd rather for her to get, you know, a natural build to the title. Just because you're new in the company doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Like, you're coming new into the company, you should start from the bottom. Right. Theoretically, right?
Right.
Theoretically, start from the bottom. But
yeah, but
you know,
I'm just looking at it from the perspective of the company, just knowing how they are. Is they're going to look at her and going, "Oh God, she looks like a superhero. Like she looks like somebody in a Marvel movie. We need to make sure this girl is good, and we are going to push the shit out of her."
Oh, I know 100%. WWE may do that. There's no doubt about that. What I'm saying is that for the longevity of her, and not have fans end up start turning on her immediately.
Right.
Have her go through a feud or so. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, you know, what they did with AJ Styles. Remember when they brought AJ Styles in? He didn't go after the fucking title immediately. He eventually did get the title, but he had feuds. You know, he had the Chris Jericho feud. You know, he lost that fucking WrestleMania.
Which that was dumb.
You know what I mean? Huh?
Which that was dumb, by the way.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. But Sting lost at WrestleMania 2 as well. So, you know, go figure. But I will say, have Jade have a natural build, then win the title when the story permits. Then, you know, continue to make her dominant. Just don't make her. She's gonna be dominant regardless, right? Might as well make a natural build. This is what I would do. I will get if Mandy Rose was still there, right? That. And her title, you know, because she had the longest NXT Women's, you know, title reign, right? I would, you know, let's say her title reign would have started maybe back like last year or whatever, right? And she's still champion through. That's who I would take the title off of to put it on Jay, somebody like that. But since Mandy Rose is not there, they need a heel or a chicken shit heel or somebody that can do that. Is that Tiffany Stratton? I would have said yes until she lost the title against Becky. You know what I mean? So, because Becky ain't gonna be champion for long. Like she may be champion maybe up until Royal Rumble. Maybe that'll be good, but again, at this time, I think what we're talking about is irrelevant if she's gonna come up to the main roster regardless.
Can I add something to your story real quick?
Yeah.
So with all the talk, because we think we talked about this on Saturday about, you know, Jade and possibly Ricky Starks, and there was someone else. Oh yeah, Wardlow. I think we talked about Wardlow, and then of course MJF. So another name has supposedly been added to that list of people that might go to WWE. And then, again, there's a rumor that I just saw this on Twitter. I don't know what the legitimacy of this tweet was, but supposedly, I do say supposedly, allegedly, is that somebody from WWE reached out to Cash Wheeler and let him know once your legal troubles clear up, you know, you can come back. Or because I don't know what their contract situation is, or I mean, they might even try to find a way to get out of their contract, because the talk is that they want to go where Punk goes, that they're loyal to Punk. So
that is total bullshit.
Which, again, that's why I said allegedly. But
why? Like, that makes no sense. Why just Cash?
Well, I mean, Cash and what's his name?
Yeah. Well, you just said Cash Wheeler, so like I was thinking,
I should have let it with also Cash. But yeah, apparently a source from WWE told Cash, once your legal troubles clear up, we're gonna sign you back.
That's tampering.
Yeah, well, it's WWE.
They're still in contract. That's tampering.
Again, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Now I will say this. I believe that they may want to come back due to the situation, but But again, it depends what they do with. It depends what they do with FTR. They weren't on fucking Grand Slam tonight either. You know what I mean? Your tag team champion. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there either. But maybe they're smoked to that fire, perhaps. But they just signed new contracts. I don't know if they just signed new contracts thinking that CM Punk was going to be there, possibly so. But they also like the schedule that they're on to as well. They're going to have to go back to a regular schedule. That's the biggest thing that FTR did when they signed these contracts is that, hey, we like the schedule that we're on right now. When they go back to WWE, they're gonna be back on that grind again. The Usos didn't even get a fucking regular or different schedule. You know what I mean? So I don't FTR like I don't believe that story whatsoever.
Right, which is why I'm very adamant about it's allegedly, or it's also Twitter, or X. So take it with a grain of salt.
Like if they're not sourcing anybody, if you can't link it back to Meltzer or to Sean Ross Sapp or to somebody reputable, then I'm not even gonna waste my time on it.
All right, we'll continue.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Next, this leads into CM Punk at least, so good segue there. CM Punk does not have any legal action pending against Tony Khan following his AEW termination. Neither is he considering taking legal action. That was from Wrestling House, Nick Houseman. Let me ask you this question. Why do you think that CM Punk does not want to pursue legal action?
Probably because he's tired of trials. Because he's already been sued. He's sued people. So it's just like, I don't know. I think with CM Punk, it's just like, I really don't feel like going through another trial. Who cares? Like, I just want to be left alone. I want to do whatever I want to do and just not have to worry about, A, B, C, and D, or this person who said something mean to me, or I got mad at them. So I don't know. I'm guessing, or maybe it's a WWE thing. Maybe, again, I'm just gonna do like armchair, detective here. So we don't know Punk's contract situation. We've been kind of like going back and forth on it. Is it a non-compete? Is it not a non-compete? Was he able to, just get terminated and just go where the fuck he wants? Because when he made that comment on the MMA show of like, I got another 2 months, and blah blah blah. I mean, granted, that can just be Punk, having fun with the media, but it can be kind of telling of like, another 2 months. Does that mean you got another 2 months left on your non-compete, or another 2 months of when you're actually going to come back? Have you already signed a deal with WWE? Are you in talks with WWE? So maybe that could be one of many things, alluding to this, him not wanting to seek legal action, is that WWE's just like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just fuck them. Like,
that's one of my things too as well, because WWE won't touch Punk if he's in legal trouble.
Right.
If he's in legal trouble, they're not going to touch him. Because they don't want to be put into that situation, because once it involves WWE, then now WWE's a part of it. They don't want that. So yeah, I'm 100% agree with you, because that's what I was going to say. Also, on top of that as well, on the other side of the coin, Tony Khan fires CM Punk with cause.
Steven Seagal Punk.
He fired CM Punk with cause.
Okay.
So remember what was said. He feared for his life. Apparently, Punk lunged at him. Maybe that was 100% true, and that's probably why he doesn't want to go through legal action as well. So it could be both of those things. But I'm leaning more towards that CM Punk and WWE, they're going to be in bed together again, and he does not want to pursue legal action because he's going back to WWE.
Right.
And he doesn't want WWE to be in that boat as far as legal ramifications and being part of it and all that there. So take your losses, and WWE, wherever WWE is going to pay you, is probably going to be just as much, if not more, than what AEW was paying CM Punk there. Mm-hmm. So last thing on the CM Punk thing. As of right now, today is September 20th, 2023. Do you think that we will see CM Punk at Survivor Series?
Oh boy. I mean, the last episode we did was, the title was called Wait and See. So, I think when he does come back, it's gonna close out the show, because they're not gonna do that shit in the beginning of the show or the middle. Like, if I had to guess, he's gonna come out maybe during War Games as like a surprise opponent. If I had to guess, like maybe they can do the whole, whatever the War Games match is, I'm assuming it's going to be Judgment Day versus fill in the blank of whatever baby faces. And they can do the whole thing of like, one of our partners gotten taken out. We need a new partner. And Cody can be like, I know a guy. Wink. And at the end of the night, they're waiting for the last guy to come out. Kind of like at War Games NXT when it was Undisputed Era versus who was it? Ciampa. Help me out here. That was 2019.
Gargano,
and who else?
Ciampa, Gargano. I think Damian Priest. Keith Lee. I think.
Okay, there.
Keith Lee.
And
Kevin Owens came out.
Kevin Owens was the surprise opponent, which, according to Kevin Owens, he was supposed to go back to NXT to I guess do a program with Cole, but it never happened. Which that would have been cool. But I mean, they can do that where like Punk is, the surprise, partner for, Cody and his team. I'm assuming it's going to be Cody and his team. And the whole place is going to go apeshit bananas. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't really speculate as to how he's going to come back. I mean, maybe WWE can like advertise it. I really don't know. But what do you think?
I think that he will be back in WWE. If you're asking me right now today, I think he will be back in WWE. Survivor Series, that is the perfect spot for it. It has to make sense if they do bring him back. But at the end of the day, I think that CM Punk will be back in WWE. Now, if he does come in WWE, that's just throwing more of a wrench into WrestleMania plans, because you got Punk, possibly The Rock, Roman, Cody, maybe Cena. Where does this all fucking fit? So I trust WWE to make the right decisions at the end of the day, but I would not want to be part of that those politics there for sure. But
no, sir.
Yeah. All right. So that is it for CM Punk. Next. Yeah, this is coming from Sean Ross Sapp, and also as well. Jesus Christ, man! I forgot his name. God, he's from Figure 4, Wrestling Observers, not Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer. It's the other Andrew Zane, Andrew Zarian, Zane or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Andrew Zarian or Andrew Zane, whatever his name is. But anyway, Max is adding a live sports tier to their service, which will be branded as Bleacher Report. It will be additional $10 and will be at no extra charge for Max subs through February 2024 promo period. SBJ says AEW will not be part of this as of now. Now, what Andrew Zarian, I believe, from if I'm getting his name wrong, I apologize. From Figure 4 Online wrestlers are saying that that Max and AEW is going to be a part of it. So a little bit contradictory reports here, but at least for a year now, saying that Max and AEW is going to be working together. You'll have the AEW pay-per-views on there. Do you think that we will finally see AEW on Max, and that we'll finally be able to catch those streams through Max for only $10 a month?
I mean, that wouldn't be bad, because, I mean, who's going to pay $50 for these shows? Like,
I mean, a lot of people do, but these last couple shows they weren't worth the $50.
So I think being on Max is a better idea because it's just like, all you gotta pay is $10 and you get AEW for free or AEW pay-per-views for free. So I'm fine with that. I mean, it's one of those things of like I need to wait until it actually happens because we've just been hearing nothing but conflicting reports of like, you know, AEW is going to get their own streaming network. AEW is going to get this. AEW is going to be on Max. AEW is going to blah, blah, blah. So if it does happen, cool. But I need to wait and see if it actually does happen.
Yeah. All right. Next here, I don't know why I have this up, but I mean, I'll just go over this really quickly. We'll go on to next story here. AEW Grand Slam tonight from Arthur Ashe Stadium. They distribute 9,786 tickets. That's coming for WrestleTix. So the current set was for 11,311. So it was not a sellout tonight. So. And there were some empty seats in the upper bleachers as well. So, tonight on Dynamite. Next here, speaking of, and this is kind of keeping with the AEW Max thing, and I should have read this as well. But this is coming from BodySlam.net that AEW has been discussing holding another pay-per-view this year after Full Gear. Not set in stone, but the discussion has gone as far as December 29th being the potential date. Also, as well, this is not from BodySlam.net, but just also as well, there's been discussion to have the AEW pay-per-views go one pay-per-view a month. That could be potentially for Max if they do that as well. So, two questions. Number one, actually maybe three questions here, but number one, thoughts about a possible another pay-per-view in December. Number two, pay-per-views possibly maybe going once a month, so 12 a year. Is that something that you want to see? And number three, do you think, and this is the most important question, do you think that possibly going 12 pay-per-views a year, that AEW TV will matter more due to having to force not booking week to week to week, actually booking with a long-term plan going forward? Do you think that's something that AEW can do with these pay-per-views possibly going to once a month?
As far as them getting supposedly, or reportedly 12 next year.
Well, I didn't say next year. I'm just saying that could be a possibility.
Right. I mean, because I heard that I heard this story right before you talked about it, but like, I mean, maybe it could. I mean, because again, I gotta be the AEW hater in this equation. It's like everybody. All I hear from a lot of people, specifically one person in particular on Twitter. I'm not gonna say his name. He's a good guy. He's a friend of the show. Where like he always likes to hammer it home. Long-term storytelling. Long-term storytelling. I'm like, dude, can you tell me what you think long-term storytelling means? So, I think it's a good thing that AEW has less pay-per-views, but in some ways I think it kind of hampers them. Because it feels like they have all this time to book these matches, but by the time the matches happen, they kind of have this very underwhelming feeling to them. Well, most of them. I mean, the only good thing going on in AEW, in my opinion, the only good storyline going on in AEW is, the MJF and Adam Cole thing. Everything else is just like, I don't know what the story is behind these people. I don't know why they're mad at each other. I don't know why I should care. So having a pay-per-view each month, I think maybe could help them book better. Because like you said, it's like forced booking of like, okay, you gotta step your game up for this pay-per-view that's coming up in July. And then you have another pay-per-view coming up in August. And August is
another thing that they do. Sorry to interrupt, but another thing that is hampering AEW is that they put on nothing TV for like 2-3 weeks straight. Then like, oh, we got pay per view in 2 weeks. Okay, let's start telling story all of a sudden.
Right.
So I think having a pay per view every single month will kind of force them to keep telling stories, like regardless of the situation or continuation of stories. So I think it's a positive thing, but also at the same time as well. if Tony Khan doesn't tell stories, and if he just books like, oh, we're gonna do dream matches, then it's like, oh, fuck, that's gonna make it even worse. So, so I see it from both sides that it could be a benefit or it could be a detractor, but we don't know what it's gonna be because it hasn't happened yet. So,
right, and also just AEW is an independent company with a big budget, and that their thought process, like you just said, is like, let's do dream matches, let's do wrestling matches. Oh, we have a pay-per-view coming up in 3 weeks. All right, we got to book. Whereas, if you have a pay-per-view coming up each month, that gives you that, what do you call it?
That's sense of urgency.
Sense of urgency. There you go. I was going to say that. To know I got to book for the next show. And, for this pay-per-view, I got to start booking for the next show and the next show and the next show. So, I mean, I think having 12 pay-per-views could maybe do them some good. Maybe.
I would not do 12 pay-per-views, but what I would do is maybe 8. So that way it can kind of breathe a little bit. But that's just me personally. Like, if they do 12, so be it. But so it can breathe a little bit more. But yeah. Any other thoughts about that before we move on here?
Nope.
All right, a couple more things here. Sheamus' current WWE contract is up in 2024. That's from Fightful Select. Do you think Sheamus re-signs with WWE, or do you think that he may wind his career down?
I think Sheamus is staying put. I mean, if he were to retire, let's just say, he's still going to stay with WWE. Like, they're going to offer him a Legends contract, if I had to guess. Maybe
but
like
do
an
you
ambassador.
think that his in-ring career could be tailing off? Or do you think that he still wants to wrestle and maybe go somewhere else? Or
he ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry to cut you off, but he ain't going nowhere else. I think maybe his in career might be kind of tapering off because he's no spring chicken. He's like in his mid 40s.
Yeah.
So I think if I had to guess, he might be given that Orton type of schedule where he's going to be a part-timer, and quite frankly, I think Sheamus has kind of deserved it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To get that kind of schedule, because he's a WWE guy, and I mean, once upon a time, there was a point where Sheamus didn't lose, and when he lost, it was like special. I mean, it was like, holy shit, Sheamus lost. So I think Sheamus, will resign, and they might just give him like a part-time schedule.
Go ahead.
To kind of spend more time at home, because I know he's married. I don't know if he wants to have kids or not. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, they'll resign him, and and if I had to guess, they'll give him like a part-time schedule.
So 0-100 chance of him, his contract coming up, not resign with WWE and go to AEW. 0-100.
Hell no, he ain't going to AEW. Hell no.
So 0.
0.
Okay. Well, Edge may be going over there, and no one thought Edge was, was a WWE lifer. So never say never. I think he's gonna still be with WWE, but never say never. Things can happen. A couple more things here. This is Vince McMahon news. Several WWE employees who were in attendance at yesterday's meeting, which was yesterday on Tuesday, sent word that Vince McMahon was actually using a cane to walk up the stairs to the stage and then walk to the podium where he spoke. And that's coming from PW Insider. This is a nothing burger to me because he just had back surgery.
Right.
So
he's also 70, so maybe that comes into play too. But speaking of Vince, since we're on the topic, so the LA Times, legit news place, reports that depending on the potential findings in the ongoing government investigations, Vince McMahon could face criminal and or civil liabilities that could prevent him from serving as an officer or director of a public company, as well as a clawback of any ill-gotten gains.
Oh my god, Vince McMahon's in the news. He could have legal trouble. Fucking suck it. Nothing has happened to this man as of yet. If this man was having legal trouble of fucking, doing sexual favor, nothing has happened to this man. I believe it when I see it.
Okay.
I believe it when I see it. I'm tired of these stories. As far as on that aspect, I'm tired of those stories because nothing has happened. Nothing has been happening. Remember, the guy had back surgery. The guy had back surgery when the feds were gonna raid his condo, and he had back surgery, and all of a sudden, the feds didn't raid his condo. So I don't fucking know, man. Like, once it happens, it happens. But as of right now, I can give two shits. He says he wants to run WWE until he's 120 years old, and apparently until that's Kurt Angle. And imagine Vince McMahon running WWE for another 45 to 50 years. He's gonna run WWE by the time I'm 80 years old, bro. Like, man, I'll be dead. I'll be dead before Vince McMahon. Like, that's fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Van Khali.
Yeah, Van Khali the third at that point. Shit, man.
Are you going to be the godfather of his grandchildren?
I already am.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah. Last, as far as news is concerned, and then I'll just run through the ratings after this here. This is interesting. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know what they're trying to appeal to here, because it's one demographic from another demographic from another demographic. But WWE is working on a deal to secure an appearance from Cristiano Ronaldo at their November Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. That's coming from Dia Rias. Diaro AS, which I'm assuming that is some Spanish sports thing, whatever. Maybe for soccer, I'm not sure, but thoughts about that?
I mean, another celebrity coming to WWE to kind of get more eyes and ears on the product. I mean, Bad Bunny worked, Logan Paul worked, Pat McAfee worked. So, hey, I mean, the more the merrier. We'll see. As whatever they can do to improve the company, I'm all for it.
You know, this is I wonder what the reaction will be if AEW who are in, who did All In, right? If they would have tried to bring in David Beckham to All In, like, I wonder if that reaction would have been the same.
He's like a god in like London, is he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if the reaction will be the same, as far as the openness to this, because I see a lot of people open to it. Me, I'm like he's like the biggest known athlete in the world behind Messi. The biggest athlete in the world behind Messi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe not America. Like, America is like LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes, and what I mean, like, we know we do our own thing over here, but for the rest of the world, Ronaldo is like fucking like God. So it'll be cool to see him to get that little stamp of approval, but at the same time as well, it's like, I don't know if it's really gonna do. I don't know if it's really gonna push that needle. I may be wrong about that though. So I don't know. What to wait and see. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so got the ratings here, and we'll move on here. But AEW Dynamite from last week, 888,000 viewers. They had a .31 in the 18-49 demo. You have SmackDown, The Rock. When The Rock came back, The Rock brought in an extra 500,000 viewers, 500,000. They finished at 2.569 million viewers, a .7 18-49 demo. Rampage, 335,000 viewers, a .09 in the demo, in 18-49. Collision, 467,000 viewers. It looks like they're plateauing there, even with like CM Punk, like they were kind of not that much more than that. So it seems like they're doing okay. Obviously not to what they were looking for, but it seems like they're doing okay. But 0.15 in the 18-49 demo. Raw was a 1.331 million viewers, a 0.44 in the demo. A lot of people are kind of down on Raw because of the viewership, but they were competing against two Monday Night Football games, so there's that. Remember that. NFL's back, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, NXT last night, 824,000 viewers and a .24 in the 18 to 49 demo. So that is your viewership from last week all the way up through yesterday.
Nice. Is that all the news?
That's it.
All right. Let me ask you something before we get to what we originally.
I have one last thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. I forgot my announcement.
Go ahead. Get Justin.
Yeah. I totally forgot about my announcement. So yeah, guys. I'm starting a new podcast. Beginning on next Monday, which is the 25th. It's gonna be a live stream daily wrestling news podcast, going over the previous night shows, reviewing the previous night shows in detail. And the podcast is called the Morning Slam Podcast. And I'll be changing my name on here too as well to the Morning Slam Podcast as well. So Spine is still going on. So, but I'm really just doing this, as a passion project, doing it for fun. I love to get my word out there, and kind of want to do it on a live platform on YouTube where I am. Where it's in a video podcast. But also as well, I'll have it on Spotify and Apple and all that stuff as well. So, so the show is, I'll put the link to the channel down in the chat here, and also. Probably next week I'll probably put my Twitter and my Instagram in there as well. Once we start getting a little bit of traction over there, I'll have you guys follow that too as well. But yeah, new podcast. So it'll be perfect for you guys waking up, have something to listen to in the morning. And I think I may be one of the only YouTubers to be live during that time. So it's gonna be from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, can't wait to start this adventure, man. It should be pretty fun, and again, it'll be perfect for people who's driving to work or getting ready for school or wherever the case may be, or if you're at the doctor's office, it'll be a great listen. So, that's it.
Yeah, man, I look forward to it, and everybody else. Again, the Morning Slam Podcast, Monday mornings. Monday mornings will never be the same again.
Well, it'll be 5 days a week, but yeah.
Or Monday through Friday.
yeah, not just Mondays. Like, that's just kind of weird. Just do it on a Monday. So yeah, Monday through Friday, an hour and a half each day, and daily news. Daily news, daily reviews, and some fun stuff on there as well. So definitely check it out. Because again, I wanna do something different in the space, and no one's really doing daily podcasts on YouTube in the morning. Right. The only other morning shows that's out there right now is Busted Open Radio, but that's on a series. You got to pay for it. With me, you don't have to pay for it, and I'm definitely less qualified to be talking about this other than Bully Ray and fucking Dave LaGreca and fucking Tommy Dreamer. But yeah, it's for fun though.
I'd rather listen to what you have to say over Bully Ray or Tommy Dreamer, but. I can't wait for the show, man. Monday, you said this coming Monday is the debut, right?
Yeah, debut this Monday, live on YouTube, and gonna try my very best to upload the shows on Spotify and other platforms as well. So
nice. So, question before we get into what we're gonna talk about. So, did you want to try and do like the first? What is it, 500 through 400, or did you... Because I have an idea. Because I would love to just do a whole show just about this list, if you're up for it. So, I don't know if you want to try and do maybe like 500 through 400 tonight, or maybe save the list for like another show. So, do you want to do that show tomorrow or Friday?
Tomorrow's Thursday. Friday SmackDown.
I mean, we can just do it after SmackDown if you're interested. It's up to you.
We can probably do it tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing a mock, a mock stream at night. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be doing it tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow in the morning. We'll do it Friday. Let's do it Friday. After
All right.
SmackDown.
You want to do it after SmackDown?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, sweet. All right, so you heard it here first, guys. Friday night after SmackDown, we will be doing a special show dedicated to the PWI. Will we be able to do the whole list? You're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, we did a kind of a relatively short show tonight, under 2 hours, but a pretty good show, pretty good conversation, and we're gonna save the meat and potatoes for this Friday night after SmackDown. I'll make sure to post in the event. But yeah, man, Justin, of course, always great having you on here, man.
Absolutely.
And also, as always, be sure to follow Justin. Be sure to shop at Spinebuster Tees. If you live in the San Antonio area, if you're driving in, if you're visiting a friend, family, coming down to Spinebuster Tees. It's at Wonderland Mall of America. If you're a wrestling fan, it has everything you need. Everything
Not
you
even
need.
just that. I mean, I got people on my website buying shirts. I just got a guy that bought a shirt in Cincinnati. Got another guy, I think yesterday, bought a shirt in Arizona. So if you're across the country, you get a shirt, and get it shipped out to you. It takes maybe about a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you can't physically come in the shop, if you want to support the what I'm doing, you can definitely check out spinebustertees.com and get yourself a t-shirt.
Nice. It's a damn good deal, people. Bought a Funko Pop today. It's an Eddie Guerrero Funko Pop. I've been having my eye on that thing longest time. Finally bought it. I don't regret it. It's money well spent.
Oh yeah, it's a great pop.
Love it. That and the RVD Funko Pop. I have them side by side by my PS5 where they belong. So, and also, like Justin mentioned, this Monday morning will be the debut of the Morning Slam podcast, which will be live on YouTube. Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday, right?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. It'll be weekday. Right now it's 8:30 till 10. Some podcasts may be a little bit shorter, but yeah, but as of right now, it'll be through 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing going forward. If it gets big, who knows, man? We'll see where it goes from there. But I really like the idea of a morning live YouTube interactive podcast that people can come in and watch. And and at the end of the day, there's gonna be some people who are not gonna be able to do it, but if you're unable to do it, great, or come in and watch, great. But there'll be the live stream will always be up, and you can watch it afterwards too as well. So just because it's in the morning doesn't mean it's not relevant.
Nice. And you know where to find me, people. X, well, now it's called X. Facebook, X. Facebook, Instagram, X. Social media, just look me up, Drew Yari. And the show is everywhere where podcasts are distributed. Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes. It's on YouTube as well, I have a YouTube channel, so be so kind to follow that channel to get those subscribers up. And then, of course, there's the Patreon. It's only $5 a month. It's just a measly $5 a month, people. It's the best money you'll ever spend. It's the shows are usually non-wrestling related, but every now and then we'll talk about wrestling. I do a show with RJ. I do a show with Ruben that we just put out. I do a show with Jeff Littman. That's usually like a monthly show because Jeff has like 85 shows to do. Well, maybe less than that, but. So just $5 a month, people. It's good money. Good money well spent. You won't be disappointed. I also do a show on Tuesday morning with RJ and Monty. It's called Friendly Neighborhood Marks. We just talk about the week in wrestling. I'm not the host of this show. Monty is. Monty will be Brother Monty will be the host of that show. I am the guest. I'm the guest host. So we just put out a new show. It's pretty good. I mean, those shows are always fun. It's always fun not to be the host every now and then. Just sit back and relax and let somebody else drive the car. And shout out to everybody who's supports the show, who's friend of us, friend of the show, Wrestling Soup, Mish, who gave me the platform to be on here. Of course, Joe Numbers, John Draper, B. Show Brian, Shaheen, who makes the graphics for the show, Yuck Nasty, who makes the music for the show, Anthony V, who makes the music for the show, RJ, Monty, Ruben Prime, Jeff, Trez, Kevin Castle, and just everybody else who's a friend of the show. Shout out to you guys. Love you all. And we'll be seeing you guys this Friday for a special show. And that's about it,
And
people.
the last thing, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we got some late breaking news that came in. Adam Cole is rushed to the hospital. He's injured. So he sustained the injury, as we mentioned. Wasn't really wasn't really much of anything, but he was rushed to the hospital, so hopefully he's okay.
That's no bueno. But hopefully he is okay. But, alright guys, we are done for the night. And we'll see you this Friday. So, peace out, guys. Have a good week and be safe.
Peace out.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.